Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen,
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in every market. Today, guys, we've got a returning guest, Chris Gilbert of the Buyer Advantage Group here at Click and Close Mortgage. And Chris, brother, you got somebody special with us today. Who'd you bring along?
Oh, definitely special. It's actually my close friend Preston, up and coming rockstar realtor. Closing deals, sealing deals. So very excited to have him on.
Absolutely.
Showcase him and his skills and all of that. So
let's go.
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go.
Glad to be here. Glad you guys had me on. Yeah.
Awesome. And it's Preston Grier. Is that right? Preston Grier.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that right, man. Let's get that out there. And what market are you in? Are you here in the Dallas-Fort Worth?
Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yeah. North Texas area typically is where I kind of gravitate to.
That's
Yep.
what's up. That's what's up. So my understanding is you're fairly new to the real estate side of the business.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about where you got started, where you're from originally, and then, kind of how you led into this industry.
Okay. As far as where I came from industry-wise, so I was a business owner, kind of in the logistics area, owned a trucking company for a little bit, and COVID decided that, I wasn't going to be allowed that anymore.
Well, talk a little bit about that business, because you actually did something that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah. So we were in the entertainment business. So you have freight where you're moving toilet paper for Target.
That's right.
And then you have the Rockstar side of things. So we're moving sound, lighting equipment, stage props for some of the biggest traveling national musicians in North America.
Let's get some names, man. Let's name drop. Who'd you meet?
all kinds of people.
Oh man. So
Top five.
top five. So we did.
You're not going to get in trouble. They won't hear it.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. Some of them I did have to sign some,
NDA.
NDAs.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. You're trying to think through, who can I
going
talk
through my
about?
I'm going through my Rolodex. I'm like, wait a minute. So
We'll cut it out if you mess up, right?
Right. So we've
Yeah.
done, I don't know if you've heard of Suicide Boys was a big client of ours. We've done Future. We've done Jason Aldean. We've done Dolly Parton.
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we've G-Eazy burnt down our tour bus in 2016.
Oh, man.
So we stopped having tour buses. And then we do stuff like, or did stuff. We did stuff like, what's it called? Disney on Ice, Monster Truck Jam.
For the kids, yeah. Good stuff,
We did
man.
Paw Patrol. I mean, list goes on.
That's awesome, man. So COVID happens and everybody stops touring,
Yes,
and that's detrimental, brother.
absolutely.
But
yeah.
you're not going to stop having success.
No.
So
Pivot.
you got to pivot and reinvent yourself. And I think, guys, that's one of the reasons we wanted to bring Preston on, because a lot of things happen in life. We never know where it's going to take us. And sometimes we got to make quick changes, right? More importantly, the successful ones, the ones that say, hey, look, I'm not going to let that get me down. They pivot quick and they find a new way of doing things. And the other thing I want to talk about here also is being a new agent and the successes that you've had in that short period of time. So you pivot. How's that look?
I actually saw the writing on the wall. So I pivoted well before, we actually shut the doors, probably by a good 8 months before.
Yeah.
So started real estate officially, I guess that was...
I think you said something November, but January was really the foot in the door, right?
So there was a bunch of training that I went through the first few months, and that was pivotal.
Training with who, too? Let's talk about that. Where'd you get started?
So it was with Monument.
Monument?
And they have a program there where they put you through actually how to do real estate. You go through your
Out of the
schooling.
Star here in Dallas, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So they teach you how to actually do real estate. You go through your schooling and all of that, and they teach you the contracts and whatnot, but they don't teach you how to do real estate.
That's right.
So
We talk about it all the time. There's a lack of education in this industry.
100%, yeah. And I 100% believe that your success does really fall on who's around you.
Yeah, your accountability partners.
Your mentor.
And your mentors.
Your mentors are everything. And I always say, even before real estate, your net worth is your network. those relationships that you have, the people that you're around, always be around people that are going to be going for the same things you are or more. And
They've got to share the same vision.
same vision.
Right?
Yeah. If you're sitting on the couch with some losers, you're going to be a loser.
100%.
If you're
Well,
out there
David
with
says
some-
it all the time, right? You're a product of the 5 people that you spend the
Hang out
most
with.
time
You're
with.
the
right?
average of the 5 people you are. You're not the best, not the worst, but you're the average.
Absolutely. And every now and then you got to bump that bottom loser up.
Gotta kick 'em out.
You got to
You wanna
keep
increase your
keep
average.
those. Yeah, exactly.
There.
Yeah,
Keep
the
you
numbers
go.
up, baby.
There you go.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
So,
right.
hey, Preston, you said January, but what year is this? Our audience wants to know years.
I'm sorry.
What year did you start in this business?
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Very end.
January 2022 or November of 2022?
November of 2022.
So January of 2023 is when you actually really started on the
Really
streets,
started.
right?
Yes.
That's you hit the streets.
Yes.
So we're a year, half, whatever, but
8 months.
Yeah.
We're recording beginning of September,
Yeah.
so literally it's the first today. So
well, hang on a second. I got a problem here. Did you not get the memo of the recession?
Right. No, I'm a risk taker.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So I got the memo, and I was like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be successful in anything, why not start at the hardest point?
Yeah.
And that
Exactly.
way, whenever it gets easy, you're flying.
Well, hang on a
That's
second.
my logic.
Well, that's a great logic because I've
Yeah.
seen your production report. You're killing it, man. You're doing
Yeah.
better than 20-year vets in the industry. Again, did you not get
Fact.
the memo that we're supposed to be having problems in real estate? Did you not get the memo that it's the highest rate in the last 25 years? Did
That's
you not
cool.
get the memo that we're not supposed to be selling real estate right now?
Are you an entrepreneur or are you not? Are you out here to do it or are you not?
A risk taker.
You have to be. You
Yeah.
have to be. So I got the memo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a mental illness that I have, but it's like
It's not.
It's like
not.
the hard things. I'm drawn to the
Yeah.
challenge, getting that closing. It's almost like you help somebody out. You got them to the finish line. You walk them through it, and it's like a high.
It's a
right.
reward.
It is.
It's a reward.
So yes, I got the memo, but also anything that's worth doing is going to have its challenges, and I was just like,
Yeah.
game on. It's fine.
Well, I heard somebody talk today, and I'll give the floor back to you, Dave. And what they said, and I've loved this, and I've heard this a couple different times, is in order to create great success, you got to be willing to fail hard, right? You got to be willing to hit the bottom rung because that's where you're able to rise to the top and beat others. Everybody else is afraid to get to the bottom. Their fear is getting to the bottom. But if you're not afraid of the bottom, right? You know that you can take yourself from here to here. You believe in it wholeheartedly. You don't let anybody else affect your plan. You can create whatever success you want. It sounds
right.
like, Preston, you're that guy.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You have to have that mindset.
David,
Yeah.
what were you going to say, brother? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I just I jest when I say, "Did you get the memo?" Because at the end of the day, man, our tagline is a real estate success partner in any market.
That's right.
We're having our best months in these markets also. Someone like you don't know what the past of real estate is because you have no past in real estate.
Right.
So you're conquering this land of whatever, and you're killing it, man.
Yeah.
You're killing it,
Thank
and I
you.
love
Thank
it.
you.
And our people need to know. Guess what? It's not the rates. It's not the recession. You can have major success.
It's the activity.
It's the activity.
Right.
They want to pick your brain, Preston. How's a guy like you who leaves an industry 8 months ago and having more success than 90%? I'll repeat myself. 90% of the people in real estate right now.
So, specific to me, everybody does things different, and there's more ways to do this than most. Everybody has. You have your guys that are big on numbers, so they lead with that. My whole thing is I feel like I was put on planet Earth to make people laugh, to have a good time.
My man.
If I'm not laughing, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Like I gotta have a good time.
It's like air for you.
It is.
Yeah.
I gotta have
Yeah.
a good time. Sometimes, to my own detriment, but I won't get into that. But it's I gotta have a good time. So I lead with that, and I found success in. Yes, I'm going to guide my clients to the finish line, but also I want them to, because on your third week of showing houses to a family, it gets, it's a beating on some people,
daunting.
where a little daunting to where,
Yeah.
but I've found that I find the success in they are not feeling that way because they're like, okay, I'm going to go look at houses and I'm going to have a good time with Preston.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time. I don't care how many houses it is.
That's right.
Because we're going to have a silly goose time. So that's what I still to this day, I still keep up with all of my past clients. I mean, there's times we got done showing houses and we went to Starbucks and hung out for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That's great.
So they don't feel like,
You're building a relationship.
100%. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And,
It's not a business transaction. You're making it personal.
No. I led that way with my business. I led that way with anything in life. Is you treat people right, you have those relationships, everything else will follow. But if you go transaction first, odds are you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, because sometimes it may be a quick thing where you go, oh, I'm gonna make a bunch of money here.
Sure.
But it may not be great for the client.
That's
but
right.
It's good for you. You're doing yourself a disservice.
There's no long-term gain to that.
There isn't.
Yeah.
So I always find treat people right, have a good time, everything else is going to follow.
Well, and you touched on it too. You also following up with your past customers, right?
Oh yeah.
And that's a mistake that most rookies make, right? At the end of the day, I've been in the mortgage side of this industry for a very long time, and I can tell you right now, we've closed a whole lot of transactions, but up until we modified our process, how many of our loan officers were following back up with their past customer database, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're just now jumping into the industry, and you said it right here, and you said, well, I follow up with my past customers, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the number one. They need to know that you're vested in them, not just during that transaction. Preston's there for them afterwards, too.
Oh yeah.
right?
We don't even talk about real estate anymore.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I heard
Unless they have a-
for the audience that's listening here? Sounds like that's your superpower, Preston. So
Yeah.
you know what? That's your superpower. Maybe not someone else's. So I think as we peel this back is whatever your superpower is, find that and grow that,
100%.
and that's what's going to make you successful.
I 100% agree. Lead with your strongest traits. And feel like I'm self-aware enough to know that these are my things,
Yeah.
and I lean on those, and just about every aspect of life. So, yeah, absolutely, I agree. Find what that is, that's your thing, and then figure out a way. Fail over and over.
Fail hard.
Until you have fine-tuned it to a form that it's almost like an art form.
Yeah.
To where it's second nature. So, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
anything worth doing is worth doing badly, right?
Just got to get started.
Yeah.
Just got to get started. Chris, you've known Preston for a long time, both professionally and unprofessionally. But you had the foresight to bring him on. Yeah.
100%.
Talk a little bit about why you thought Preston would be a good candidate to bring on here to the podcast.
100%. So I think we went to South Padre, right? And that's when I told you and Taylor about, me getting this job and all the success I was having. And, we were just going back and forth about it. And then once you said you had some inkling to be a realtor, I was like, oh, that's my guy. Because I know him as a person. How I met him,
Right.
I was literally attracted to him as a friend. I was like, oh, okay, this guy, charismatic, hilarious. He hasn't even got to his, stand-up part of his life, right? I mean, not yet. And so... just like I said, his charisma, his drive, just talking on the phone with him about it, his excitement, I was like, man, you're going to be great. Like, I talk to a lot of realtors every day, right? I talk to a lot of, realtors, insurance agents, title.
That's right.
The main thing that I see when I hear them talk is charisma. And, and that's what he's got, right?
Yeah.
That's what his law of attraction.
Well, he's having fun with it, man. And I think that's important too. That's another thing David and I always talk about. You want to do business with people that you're like-minded and like-hearted with. And when you're an agent and you're fun-hearted, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the attributes you bring to the table. Who doesn't want to have fun when they're trying to buy a house? It's one of the most stressful times of their life, right?
Yep.
And if you can get them out there and make it fun and not give them trouble because they want to look at a lot of houses, but encourage them to find that correct house, right?
Absolutely.
That makes the transaction so much better. It's just so much more personal, and it makes perfect sense why you're having the great success that you are.
Yep.
You took the transaction side out of it, and you made it fun, and
Absolutely.
that's so important.
Yeah, absolutely. I forget where I read this, but it was saying that real estate is one of the industries where people cry the most going through that transaction.
It's facts.
Like a Taylor,
yeah. They just, it's emotional. The deal might fall through. We don't know. It's all over the place. So having that layer of just to take that down a bit, because it can get so carried away, and this is somebody's home. This is where they're gonna build a family, or
That's right.
This is everything to them, and it's not a small transaction.
It's not.
It's people work hard for everything that they have, and to have a transaction this size, even on the smaller end, is still a big transaction. So I understand it, and to be empathetic with them,
That's right.
and also meet them there, but then also have a way to kind of reel it in. And I use humor to do that.
Yeah.
Even in the showing process, I'll focus on. It's a weird thing, but if it's the right client, I'm kind of reading it. I'll say, I want you to tell me. We're going to focus on everything you hate about these properties, because it's going to tell me more about what you like.
How I can dive in and find you the right home.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of like roast properties and kind of clown on these properties together.
Love it.
Like, do you hate that? They're like, oh, that's awful. We hate that. And then that way, whenever I'm looking at properties, I'll go, okay, I know what he likes, but I'm not going to give him or show him properties that are.
Are you interested in purchasing a new home but don't have the money for the down payment or closing costs? Have you tried using a down payment assistance program before but didn't qualify because you weren't a first-time home buyer or made too much money? Then Click and Close has the answer for you. We've developed the Smart Buy Forgivable program. The Smart Buy will give you up to 3.5% of the purchase price to be used towards your down payment or closing costs. This will allow you to come to the closing table with no down payment. That's right. No down payment. If you'd like to learn more about the Click and Close Smart Buy Forgivable program, click below to learn more or call us today. Click and Close, home of the no down payment home loan. That's right, no down payment. No, really.
They have these positives, but I know that they hate this, and that's just human nature. Typically, that things that they don't like trump the things that they do. So it's a,
I think that's a pro tip from a novice, right?
Yeah.
You're new to the business, but you don't sound like it, because what you're saying is during that fact finding stage of sitting down with the consumer, you're finding out what they love, so that when it comes time to use your skills of finding them the right home, because you do have, let's face it, a lot of people go, well, I got Zillow and I got Trulia and I got all these different sources where I can go in and look at the house, and I don't need an agent, right? Not true. No. Not true. And not true for other reasons, right? Number one, you can help them find that house because you also have the books open with Netris, right? You can look in there, you can zone things off, you can go off a school district. I mean, there's a lot of different attributes that you can filter it down to find that house. Mm-hmm. And so when you really get to know your customer and you utilize the skills that you're using here, right, and have fun with it, you can literally tailor make the house they want out of what's on the inventory, so that when you're showing them the next group of properties, it's the right property.
Absolutely.
Right?
And you see it too. You see it in their eyes, right? When they walk in, they're just like, this is it.
Well,
this is absolutely it. And I'll even tell people that. I'm like, whenever we come across it, especially for first-time home buyers, I'm like, I'll see it in your eyes. Like, you're going to light up whenever we walk into this property. And then I'll say, this is like...
Let's talk about that second. You just said that tiers in real estate is more than any other industry. I agree with you. Both ways, tiers of joy and tiers of disappointment. You always get an offer accepted, right? 100%?
No.
Okay, think about that for a second.
Yeah.
When you make an offer on a house,
you really want.
Lived
They've already
there in their mind.
They've already lived in their mind. Their kids are coming down from the kitchen table from Christmas time and all that stuff. And when they lose that offer, think about the disappointment. Think about you have to be a psychologist,
Absolutely.
You have to talk them off the ledge. Do they immediately want to go back out and look at another house? They just lost their dream house.
Right.
And an offer. That's the tiers of disappointment. How about the tiers of excitement?
Yeah.
Hey, you win that offer. Now you can envision your kid coming down that Christmas tree.
Right.
To all that stuff. Man, man, you're a psychologist. Think about that.
100%.
You're dealing with you have to deal with people's emotions and how to get them going again.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that too,
sometimes.
right? The tiers, right? You're talking about the tiers. Well, the tiers sometimes can also, it's depending upon who you're working with, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are those tiers happiness tiers or sadness tiers? When it comes to the lending process, if you get hooked up with the wrong lender, you're going to have tiers because that lender didn't get you qualified, and it's probably, or maybe they misqualified you and your loan doesn't go through because of something they did. But when you pair up with the right loan officer, you're not going to have that problem, right? Same thing goes with the real estate side. When you tier up with the right real estate partner, you're going to give them the right education to find the house that they want. But then when you find it, you're going to help them fine tune the offer so that they have a better chance of getting that acceptance.
Yes.
So those tiers are happiness, not sad, right?
Yes, you actually just segued into what I was going to elaborate on.
Like-minded.
You just segued straight into it. I actually use those failures as tools to say, hey, we lost this one because of A, B, and C. And that's kind of how I coach people in whenever they put an offer in. If it's a competitive offer and I know that these already have multiple offers in there, I'll kind of set that expectation with them to, okay, whatever your offer is going to be, has to be your decision, obviously.
Yeah.
Whatever your offer is going to be, think about the next morning, whenever you wake up and you've lost that offer, you lost it. Whatever number pops in your head and goes, I could have done that. Make that be your number. And if you can vision that next morning, losing it and going, I did everything I could.
Yeah.
That's where you need to be in a competitive market specifically. But yes, I typically try to use that as a tool to help people. And also,
You're a storyteller, brother.
Hey, rookie.
Yeah.
Hey, rookie. That's a pro tip, brother.
Really?
I joke around and say
Yeah.
rookie because that's not rookie. That's not a rookie move. I'm sitting here in awe of.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever heard that, and
I
I deal with
appreciate
real
that.
estate people all over. And the fact that you just came up and hey guys, pro tip. That's
No
excellent,
question.
so that you don't lose another offer.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic, man. And you're right, David. I mean, that is a pro tip. And by the way, and I'm going to go back and say it, that's why we brought you on the show, because you're having a lot of success in such a short period of time. And again, we talk to literally thousands of realtors every single month, right? And we talk to thousands of realtors that have years of experience that aren't closing as many loans as you are.
Yeah.
Brother, we see why, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, that success you're having right now, that's just a fraction of where you're about to take this thing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It feels
No, it
nice.
is.
It feels nice, you know, the hours that you put in and thought, and I mean, it's an onion. There's lots of layers and layers, and you know, I'll never say that I know everything about any industry or anything in the world. There's
Right.
always something new.
Gotta be humble,
There's
brother.
always a new layer.
Yeah.
There's always a chance to learn, and it's exciting and it's fun.
We call it being Bob, right?
That's
In
right.
our world, Bob is just somebody who follows instructions and understands that he doesn't always know the best way,
Right.
right? And, you know, I think that's what allows for, you know, great people to become better because they're coachable. They're willing to go, okay, I'm going to learn from that mistake. I'm going to listen to some of the other mentors that I have in my life, and I'm going to put those into action so that I have the ability to get better with what I do, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I love that because, again, you're a rookie, novice, really veteran, right? Saying, hey, look, I will learn from my mistakes and I will get better from what I do.
Yeah.
That's not standard. Again, you know, most people, you know, I can't say most people, but a lot of people come in and they go, I know everything, right? You know, I know how to do it. I don't care. I'm going to do it my way, and I'm not going to follow instructions, even if my mentors are doing better than me.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't sound like that's the way you do
No,
things.
because I look at it also, you know, I've noticed that even specifically with like art, you know, whether you're a musician, a painter, a stand-up comic, whatever you're doing, typically, if you were to ask that artist, are you good? And typically it's the ones that are like, you know, I'm okay, are the really good ones.
Yeah.
And the ones that are like, I'm awesome, I'm the best, you should come to a
Right.
show, come to a show. And then you go and then you're like,
All right.
you know, okay. But that's that mindset. It's,
modest,
you got to
yeah.
be your biggest critic. You got to go,
Yeah.
even if you're phenomenal at what you do, you have to go, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because there's always room to grow, period. I don't care if you've been doing it 20 years, because things change, you know, the markets shift. Every client's different. So
Yeah,
you can't
that's right.
have, you know, everything's learning, and you gotta be humble.
You've got to be humble, but today you got to take the humble hat off,
Oh,
brother, because
baby.
we're here to talk about how awesome you
Yeah.
are.
So I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Hey, Preston, I talked to you a little bit in the green room. I want to talk about your work ethic a little bit.
Yeah.
Man, so you just work 9 to 5, right? Off weekends?
No.
No,
I just,
you're
I jest because I want you to tell the audience, you know, everybody thinks that real estate is a luxurious.
It's a part-time
It's
job,
a part-time gig.
yeah.
I'm traveling all over the world, sightseeing, making millions of dollars and stuff like that. Let's talk about what the industry really is. It's
Yeah,
a 24. If you want to be successful, I want to know a day in the life of Preston. Let's talk
go.
about a day in the life.
Absolutely. So, yeah, people will say, I got into this for the freedom. What?
Yeah.
No. There'll be days I look up at the clock and it's 9 p.m. and I'm still
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
I have to peel myself away from the
Right.
computer sometimes. But also I'm sick in the head. I have to be doing something.
We share that sickness.
It's,
Right.
you know what it's called? It's called passion. It's
passion.
But
There it
you
is.
call it sickness, we call it passion because when you love what you do, it's not work. But keep going.
100%.
It's facts.
This is the industry for me that I've found where I genuinely do not feel like I'm working.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I am hanging out with people. I am creating relationships. I'm doing cool stuff
Love
like
what
this.
you do, brother.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Love what you do.
That's what it
Yeah.
is. And I've heard that my whole life. and I've done several different things.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking my, owning my own business. That was fun, but I love this.
Yeah.
Love it.
And I'm a huge believer in everything happens for a reason. And I say that with clients as well. If we lose an offer on a property, I've seen where we go and find a better one. I've seen that. So I believe that everything kind of happens for a reason. There's like this weird flow of life.
That's right.
But you can also get in the way of that. You can go, okay, an opportunity will present itself and you don't jump on it and you dampen yourself. You gotta jump on the roller coaster and you gotta put your hands up and you gotta accept all the things. And there's just,
Well, you mentioned something the other day, and I believe you said you have a mentor, right? Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about that, right? Let's talk about your mentor and why is your mentor your mentor? What does that person do for you?
So my mentor is actually my broker.
Yeah.
Her name is Jennifer Hoffman, and she's just great. I mean, you have those people that'll say that, give me a call anytime,
Yeah.
Give me a call, I got you.
But do they really mean it?
No, no. I mean, well, sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do.
And in this case,
She does. She does.
And sometimes they'll say it in front of people. You'll be in a group setting, call me anytime, I got it. And then they're just trying to look good.
Yeah.
She has been the best. I mean, there's been times whenever it's, 9 p.m. and it's like, okay, I have to have this done. And she's there. I mean, it's everything.
We share that, right? David, can I call you anytime?
Anytime.
And I do.
Anytime.
And can you call me anytime?
Anytime.
And do we always answer the phone?
Always.
And if we don't, we always call back, right?
Always.
That's the
What
thing.
about you, Chris? Can you
Same.
call me whenever you need anything?
Anytime. And I have called you anytime.
Yeah. How about David? Can you call him?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Your
Well-
success partners.
Well, I want
100%.
to talk that because me and Preston were just talking offline in the green room, and we were talking about telemarketers, and everybody has a pitch, but the one thing I caught from him is he picks up every single
Every time.
call. He doesn't. If he's available, he picks up that call. If he's not available, he lets it go. But he picks up that call.
That's right.
That's again, guys. Pro tip.
Yeah. Answer your phone.
Even the ones that say scam.
Yes,
Likely.
he picks it up.
Scam likely.
I
Could
pick
be
that
a
up.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that's a lost art.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're fun. The scam ones, you're like, what's going on? What are you trying to scam me out of? Let's see.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's
see where this
that's
goes.
your focus on
man.
client services.
Yeah.
Again, you know what? Your client calls, you pick up the line. There's somebody said about again
Yeah.
a lost art. I can't say enough.
A
That's
lost
huge.
art.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. If you say you're going to do something,
Do it.
do it.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something to do with your phone.
Hey, and do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, man.
Right.
Do it every day, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
do
love
it
that.
every time.
Yep, you
Yeah,
have
this
to.
guy's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you for
telling
bringing
you.
him on.
Yeah.
So
Telling you, man.
let's get back to that mentor, though. Give her a shout out real quick, bro.
Oh, she's the best. Jennifer Hoffman, Echelon Realty. It's a startup. It's a new brokerage. We're looking forward to some big things, stuff
Yeah.
that I can't announce just yet. But I mean,
Yeah.
big things coming. Can't be more excited.
Well, if you're involved, brother, I already,
work.
yeah, it's going to be
Well, I
good stuff.
appreciate the nice,
Yeah.
nice words. I really do.
And clearly, she saw something special in you.
Yes.
Right.
I think I
And
would like to think so. Yeah. Yeah.
well, and it sounds like she's a pretty special
yeah.
mentor. Somebody that you can really look up to.
And it speaks on your loyalty as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No,
Facts,
she's
man.
she's
Facts.
just the best. And again, it goes back to who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
I mean, your success relies on who you can reach out to.
Man, I know we're getting close to the time, but I got one last question for you, dude.
Go.
Shoot.
Where do you see yourself 3 years from now? 3, not 5, just a couple
3.
years, 2 years.
3 years. 3
you know?
years from now, you know.
Let's get that forecast,
Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
picturing people making that phone call the
Yeah.
next day. What's
I
your
wanna see-
forecast?
I have a weird take. I set small goals.
Yeah.
But I never like to try because you never know what 6 months is going to be.
Sure.
So I never try and say, I'm going to be here in 3. I'm going to be here in 5. Because that gives me a finish line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a finish line.
Right.
I want to keep going. So in 3 years, I mean,
Who knows? Right?
learning more transactions,
Yeah.
just deeper into the industry. I'm pretty simple, pretty simple man. Just I like nice things.
Yeah.
I like hanging out with people.
Yeah.
So 3 years from now, home, car, transactions.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out.
Team.
Love it.
I think team. I think, and that doesn't mean you have to leave your mentor. That just means you got people working underneath you
Right.
to help you create some success. Because I see that's where it's headed. When you get to the kind of production that you're doing, you get to that point where you're going to need some people too.
Oh, yeah.
That can benefit you from what you do, brother.
Absolutely.
I know you don't like to forecast the future, but if I forecast the future for you, brother, I see,
Greatness.
100 transactions
Oh, yeah.
a year, right? I think that's super doable for you. And I know it seems like such a far stretch.
Scalable.
But brother, that's the kind of goal you got to set for yourself, right? Because if you set a goal that's super achievable, well, you're right, man. You hit those and then you stop, right? But if you set something that's, in your mind, it's just unfathomable, right?
Okay.
But then you push yourself to that kind of a level, big things happen.
1,000 transactions a year.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
There it is.
You can do
Let's
it.
go.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
100%.
Let's go.
Hopefully 3 years from now, I'll come on here and then I'll
Yeah.
say.
Well, we'll bring it back in 3 years, no question. Now we're going to mark the date. Guys, September 1st, 2023, so 2026.
All right.
You're going to be sitting, well, maybe not right here, because by then we'll probably have a new location
Upscale
as
a
well,
little bit.
right?
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, brother, I want to see you hit that goal, man.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Well, I
He will.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
He
good
will.
stuff. Chris, man, brother, anything you'd like to throw in today? Any questions you want to ask your boy?
Man, I'm just happy you came on, brother.
appreciate it.
I remember when we first talked about it, I was like, dude, you got to come on. As
Oh, yeah.
soon as he brought this on, I was
Yeah.
like, I got a perfect guest for you, Devin.
Well, I'm glad you waited,
Yeah.
and that's because we needed him to get some transactions under his belt to be able to
Right.
show, hey, look, no, he really is a top tier agent, regardless of the fact that he's been doing it for 8 months. So,
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm glad you waited. I think this is the perfect time to bring him on, and I'm excited to see what happens here in the next 8 months because I'm pretty confident you're going to be doubling the numbers you already have.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate it. I hope to as well. I'm going to.
Going to.
I'm going to.
When it happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So, well, let's do this, Preston. Anything we should have asked you today that we did not?
I don't think so.
Maybe some hobbies, maybe some,
No, I don't know, hobbies. I mean, I love comedy.
That's it. That's what I was looking
that's
for.
what you're trying to dabble into.
Uh-huh.
I had a short-lived little stint with some stand-up. I love
Let's go.
stand-up comedy.
Hilarious.
Just work in the room. It's a lot of fun.
Crowd work.
Podcasting.
Second passion, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about real estate is I was able to combine my passion with my
There it
purpose.
is, man.
So
That's the superpower right
That's what it
there,
is,
man.
yeah. So,
You're using
yeah.
your talent to create great success.
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
So and then you said a podcast too, right?
Yeah, I did have a podcast. I had to take it down because it was. I'm an all-in kind of guy,
Yeah.
and in stand-up, you got to go for it.
100%.
And
There's some shock factor in there.
without a doubt. So
It's not why did the chicken cross the road kind of stuff.
no.
it may start there.
Yeah, I don't even start there, dude. People.
We done run over the chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken's been eaten.
Yeah, all of it. So
He was good,
I
too.
do plan on revamping and starting back up another podcast.
You should.
but
You should do one in
that's-
this industry, man. You
Oh,
should
yeah.
do one about real estate and how you're
So-
having fun with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the next move.
We'd love to help you with that too. If you wanted to get started, just kind of point you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
I know you've got a background in it, but
Yeah, no,
we've
you
got
need a
we've got
team.
some videography teams, and we've got things that we
Absolutely.
might be able to support you with too. so.
Absolutely. That was the biggest thing
Yeah.
whenever I was doing it is I was editing, I was doing all
Everything, a one-man show,
Man,
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a full-time job.
It is.
Whenever you're doing it by yourself like that.
Yep, we love you, John.
Yeah.
Keep up the
Always.
great work, brother.
Always, brother.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good stuff, man. Well, if the people out there want to find you, and I think after this podcast, they're going to want to.
Right.
100%.
How do they get a hold of you, brother? How do they get a hold of Preston Grier?
So I'm all over social media. You just go to Preston Grier.
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 Yeah.
Preston. Grier.
Yeah.
Go to Instagram, Facebook. You can find me there. Send me a DM. I'll answer.
That's it. What about a phone number?
Phone number 214-984-4851.
Let's go.
Call me.
Let's go. How about you, Chris? I know you didn't talk a lot about what you do today, but guys, Chris is he's in the lending side of it. He's here with us at Click and Close, and he's part of the Buyer Advantage Group. These guys are having some great successes too. And Chris, what states are you in? Let's talk about that real quick, because you're not just Texas. You're in a couple.
We are in 20 states, man.
Yeah, well, let's not list them all. But let's tip
The main ones?
Hit your top five.
Oh,
man.
okay. Our
What's your
top five right now is obviously going to be Texas, right?
that's
Tennessee,
right. Yes, sir.
Louisiana,
Yep.
Virginia, and Georgia. They're hitting right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but just when I came into this, I was thinking Texas is my market.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of us here in Texas, right? But once we started branching out, because you gave us all the licensing that we would need, and
100%.
You say, hey, call them all. Find your niche, find your person, find your state. And me and Andrew found multiple, and we're continuing to grow on that. So,
well, I think that's a pro tip too, guys, because a lot of loan officers think, hey, we're restricted to our immediate area. And Chris, real quick, so these are all refis from paid leads, right?
no, not at all. No. Dude.
Where are you getting your business from, brother?
Realtors.
Out of state realtors.
Out of state.
Right.
Calling them.
That's it.
Calling them.
So we've got the
Call to
scripts,
action.
we've got the the plan, the success plan,
Daily success plan.
Yeah, to be able to create that business. And what you found, I'm going to go ahead and speak to it real quick here as well, is you're able to work with those agents in other states, but it's because if they want to see you visually, you can hop on a Zoom call, Teams call before they have their first cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, and that's actually preferred, right? Put a face on them, face to a name.
Well, I've seen your process, man. You guys are killing it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. There's a reason why you've had such great success and why people keep coming back and why they're not afraid to do business with you out of state, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not only us, it's y'all. It's our team.
We're going to talk about you, man. Don't talk about us.
Hey, gotta give you credit. Gotta give credit where it's due, my man.
I appreciate it,
And
brother.
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be where I'm at today, where I live today, without y'all. So,
well, thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that, brother. Thank
you.
And thank you for being so humble, but you did all that work, right? We showed you the plan and we taught you what to do, but at the end of the day, you and Andrew, right, took that plan, you put it to action, you created the success you're having. So take your hat off and accept the praise, man, because that's all you.
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
my man.
100%, brother. Well, how do the folks out there find you, my man, if they want to do business with Chris Gilbert and the Buyer Advantage Group?
Buyer Advantage Group, right? You look up the Buyer Advantage Group. Buyer is Beyer, which is for Andrew's last name. We'll play on his name. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Just look it up.
You guys are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And literally everywhere, 20 states too. So if you
Yeah.
want to know what those states are, look them up and give Chris a call. And I promise you guys will be happy that you did. So, well, Preston, brother, great to have you here. I think we're going to have a part two, definitely in 3 years, but we may have to have another one here in a few more months.
Let's do it.
To see what you've done with your comedy
Maybe have a
career.
little guest co-star. Maybe bring a mentor on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let's go.
She'd love to be on.
That's good stuff, man. Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
David, anything you want to say today, brother, before we close out?
No, if audience, if you're looking to buy a house in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I'd call Preston because,
Yes.
man, you get a free stand-up comedy while you're looking at houses.
right.
Why not?
And some
That's
great
right.
advice and a good friend at the end,
Yeah.
Heck, if I'm gonna get a free show, let's go.
Yeah, let's have a good time and get you into a home.
Yeah.
Last I looked, there was the 2-drink minimum, but
Yeah.
with Preston, it's free.
Free, baby.
And you get a house at the end.
Win, 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 win. All over the place.
It is. Well, good stuff, guys. Well, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
And if you want to find us, you can check us out at www.realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. We're also going to be on all your listing platforms, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. If it's out there, we're on it. And this one's actually recorded in video, so if you'd like to check us out on YouTube, you can come to the Dubuc team. And you're going to want to do that because we need those 5-star reviews and we need more subscribers. So until the next time, we're going to see you then.
Bye, guys.
Cool. Man, good stuff.
Thanks.